94, and we learned this law about not bar not, a taste that is born of a taste. Remember we learned about that yesterday? And so what comes out of it is that if you cooked meat in a big pot and you emptied out the meat from that pot, and within 24 hours you boiled water in that pot, then some opinions say that you can use that water with milk. You can make coffee with it and put milk in the coffee. Because the taste that's in that water is not really a meat taste. It is a very, very weak meat taste. Vav. But the Mechaber does not hold that way, and I don't advise anyone to do it. Vav. Onions or vegetables that are swallowed up from meat, you cook them together with meat, and you boil them in a pot that is milchik. If you know, we're going to get to this not bar not thing a little bit later also when we talk about fish that comes up on a plate, a meat plate. A meaty plate. We're going to get this. Yeah, that's going to be the next chapter. It's going to be the next chapter. Tzadik Hey. Then we're really going to go into this. And then we're going to see clearly the argument between the Mechaber and the Ramah. This law that I told you about, boiling water in a meat pot, if you can put milk in that water afterwards. We'll see. Let's go. Onions or vegetables that were cooked together with meat, they're swallowed up with meat, and then you boil them in a milchika pot. Okay, if you know how much meat you cooked these onions or whatever vegetables with, then all you have to have is 60 against that amount of meat. Okay, what's going on? Listen to this. What do we say? Let's take a case. Two cases. You have a potato that's 50 ounces big. 50 ounces big. And you boil that potato with 1 ounce of meat. Potato. And then that potato you take out and it falls into a big pot of milk. How much milk do you have to have in that pot for it to be permissible? So let's make the mathematics. What'd you do? You had a potato that was 50 ounces big, and you boiled it together with 1 ounce of meat. Then you took that potato out. Now it's a meaty potato. Can't eat it with milk. And by mistake, you threw it into a pot of milk. A pot of milk. How much milk do you have to be permissible, to negate that potato? No, rabbis, I'm asking you a question. This is the test. First test. Don't be nervous.
60 times?
60 times what?
The potato.
Wrong. That's what you might think, and that's what this law is coming to tell you. If you had to have 60 times against the potato, then it means that the potato became totally 100% meat from that 1 ounce of meat, but it doesn't. We say that that potato only contains in it 1 ounce of meat taste. Therefore, in that pot that you have, how much milk do you have to have in order to make it permissible? Rabbis? Let's have an answer.
60 ounces.
Wrong.
You said there's 1 ounce of meat.
All you have to have is 10 ounces. You already have 50 ounces of potato. 10 ounces of milk will make the whole thing permissible. Get it? Because the potato does not become one big piece of Isser. Get it? Or not? So now in that milk, how much do you have to have milk? Who has the answer? Don't be shy, rabbis.
It was 1 ounce of meat, 50 ounces of potato, and there was already 10 ounces of milk. Was that what you said?
All it has to do is fall into 10 ounces of milk, and the whole thing is permissible.
What's 49? 11?
Why? Because the 10 ounces of milk adds up to the 50 ounces of potato, and it negates the 1 ounce taste of meat that's in that potato. Good?
Tough.
No? Is anybody here? Anybody listening? Are you listening, rabbis? Are you awake? I negated everybody else. Unmute. Here, let's 1 second. I got to mute. I'm muting. Unmuting. I can unmute people or no? Nah, it doesn't look like I can unmute.
Yes, I'm unmuted.
What?
Be unmuted, Rolf. I'm unmuted.
All right, good. Let me say the case again. I'm not going to let anybody leave the classroom until we answer this question. Again, you cooked a potato with 1 ounce, together with 1 ounce of meat. You take that, the potato is 50 ounces big.
Right.
You cooked it together with 1 ounce of meat. You took that potato out and by mistake threw it into a pot of milk.
Oh.
How much milk does there have to be in that pot? Minimum amount of milk for it to be permissible.
11 ounces.
No, if the potatoes.
There's
Why
49.
11?
There's 49. There's 49 non-meaty ounces of the potato.
No.
That's
There's
11.
50. There's 50.
No, but one of them is. But 1 ounce is meat.
No, the 1 ounce of meat is addition to the 50 ounces.
Oh, so then 10.
600 ounces of milk.
Good answer, but totally wrong.
9 ounces.
What?
9.
All you have to have is 10 ounces of milk.
That's what I said.
You said 11.
But then
We have it
you
recorded.
said.
Play that recording. What?
But then I said 10. After you corrected me, I thought
I
you
didn't hear
count
that. I only hear what I wanted.
You said, so actually the potato was 51 ounces.
I said that. Play the thing
No,
back.
but that's what you meant.
I'm being.
I checked Rashi on this.
False news. Okay. All you have to have is 10 ounces. Why? Because all you have to do is negate the taste of the meat. So anything that's not meat will negate the taste of the meat. So if you already have 50 ounces of potato, inside of that potato is 1 ounce of meat. But the potato doesn't become 100% meaty. It's just 50 ounces of potato with 1 ounce of meat inside of it. Now all you have to have is 10 ounces of something else, and you've got 60, right? Something that's not meat, and you have 60 that negates the taste of the meat. Okay, if it's potatoes or something like that, there's no, well, more potatoes. But what if it's milk? Oh, now you got a big problem. You have milk and meat. So it says all you need is 10 ounces.
So you're saying it's the 10 ounces plus the 50 ounces.
That's right. Make
60 ounces, then it
yes.
makes.
Now let's go to the end. Now we're gonna get the plot thickens. Let's say that it is not 50 ounces of meat that is cooked together with this. Not 50 ounces of potato that's cooked together with this 1 ounce of meat. Let's have a new scenario. 50 ounces, a piece of cheese that's 50 ounces big. And that boils together with 1 ounce of meat. And now this 50 ounce piece of cheese falls into milk. How much milk do you have to have in order for it to be permissible?
11.
Permissible, because it's milk on milk, no?
Yes,
Where's
but
the meat?
that original cheese has meat taste in it.
How much meat?
How much 1 ounce.
1 ounce of the 10. 50. 1 ounce of the 10, and then it's got the taste. So it's 10. They're not 600.
More than 600. You have to have 3,000.
3,000, right?
60 times 50. Really, 60 times 50. Yeah.
60
Really, 60 times 51.
Yeah.
51, because you have to taste it right. Because that piece becomes what we call chaticha nasa nevela. That piece of cheese is worse than a potato. A potato doesn't become nevela. A potato just is a potato with meat taste inside of it. But when you have 1 ounce of meat together with 50 ounces of cheese, then that cheese doesn't have 60 against it. The cheese will become totally forbidden. The cheese now becomes 50 ounces of isser. And in order for it to become permissible, really 51 ounces, because you got the meat in it also. In order, you have to have 60 ounces of something in order to negate it. Even if it falls into milk, you have to have 60 times 50, which 60 times 50 is 3,000. Don't really have to be 3,060, because you have to have 1 more. And that's today's class.